Okay, at approximately 4:25 this morning, Falls Township police officers were dispatched to Foster Drive, 6210 Foster Drive, for the report of a stabbing man down. Upon arrival, they found a female victim down the street, covered in blood, who came from that residence. She was unable to speak to us at that time. She was bleeding pretty badly. So they immediately got her transported to the hospital. She was transported to St. Mary's Medical Center to the trauma unit. She was admitted there. She is there now. Detectives are on scene with her, trying to speak to her. It's a little difficult to speak to her because she's being treated at the same time, so it's being broken up by the time specialists come in and out. All her wounds appear to be non-life-threatening. They are severe, but they are non-life-threatening. Other officers made entry into the home where they found the male deceased in the back corner of the trailer. He had trauma to his neck, which is consistent with a stab wound. We're waiting for the coroner to confirm that, but he was deceased at the scene. The information that we have gathered so far indicates that they have had a previous relationship together. We don't know the status of it this time. From neighbors in the area, he has not been seen there for quite some time. We don't know what led up to the altercation. What we have, the information we have so far from the victim is at some point shortly before 4:25 in the morning, the male entered the house. Some kind of altercation then ensued. From her statement, she did inflict injuries on him. We're unsure of the manner of those injuries, and then fled the house. At this point, we're still interviewing victims. We just gained a search warrant for the house. The body is still in the house. Detectives are now entering that. We'll be gathering information from there. But as far as a motive for this, we're not sure. What started this, we're not sure. We're still trying to piece all that together.
So is it safe to say that right now we're still waiting to have a conversation with her, but you know that she is the one who in fact is responsible for the stab wound to his neck?
We are not looking for anybody else in this incident. From statements that were made by her, we believe that the injuries were caused during this altercation between the two of them. She was the only one.
Did you say she acted in self-defense?
We can't say that it was self-defense at this time. Like I said, we would like to sit her down and talk to her extensively, but like I said, the detectives are just getting bits and pieces in between doctors treating her.
Do they have a history of, have been called there before? Is there any restraining orders, anything like that?
We reviewed our reports, and we don't have any domestic violence with them. We don't have any. The calls that we have are very minor. They were a witness one time in a case, and they were a victim in another. From some of the neighbors, they are saying that they have heard fights in the past, but we've never been called to them.
And at this point, I mean, is she saying though that it was self-defense? Is she giving any
She
indication?
is, from what I'm getting from the detective, she has not really said too much. She's unable to actually make a real good statement yet, so that's unclear.
And is it her home?
From what we understand, we have to confirm it, it's his home, and she moved in, but now she's there and he's out. I don't know how that worked. I don't know what process that took. But it looks like it is his home.
Okay, but both of them occupied that home together?
They were
some time?
cohabitating for some time, and approximately 3 weeks ago that changed. He was out of the house and she was staying in the house.
Was anybody else in the house?
No, there was no other people in the house at the time.
If she had stabbing, were there two weapons involved?
We have not confirmed that. We're not sure. Like I said, we just got the search warrant, so we're going into the house now. So we're not sure.
Was the male invited into the house?
We can't confirm that. It's his house. I mean, as far as the law is concerned, he can go in and out anytime he wants.
No restraining.
There's no restraining order. There was no reports of domestic violence. We don't know why he left his own home. Maybe it was an agreement between the two of them.
Who made the original 911 call?
From what I understand, it was the victim made the original 911 call, and then subsequent calls came in from people who saw her covered in blood.
When you say the victim made the original, the man or the woman?
Well, the female victim in this case with the stab wounds.
And why did she run away from the house?
I don't know. The detective should talk to her. I didn't get a reason.
How far
She was a considerable distance away from the house.
On the same street or?
I think it was a block over on it.
You know, what's her age?
I do not have her age. I don't have her date of birth. I don't even have her name yet.
Is she like middle age? Like?
I would assume she's probably close to the age of the deceased subject, which is 59, so I would say she's probably in her 50s.
No children residing across?
Nah, the relationship has only been maybe a year, from what I understand, from neighbors. Okay.
How did you find her on the street? Was she screaming? Did other people find her?
We had other calls saying that there was a female covered in blood, so the officers went there first before they went to the home.
And real quick, just the 425 call, was that when you responded or when you got the 911?
That's when the first officer arrived on scene, so probably a couple minutes before that was when the original call came in.
Okay.
I know there's not a lot of details there, but we're still gathering. I don't want to make a mistake and tell you something that we find out later is untrue, but to this point, that's what we know is true.